Good morning and welcome back to Harrisburg Day 3. It has flown by this weekend. Pretty busy day yesterday. I know they sold plenty of horses and it was a very long day if you're not used to
the marathon.
It.
Day 2 at Harrisburg it takes a special person to be here when the first one goes in the ring and still upright when the last one goes to the ring. I told everybody, John and everybody that's here, just look around now and then look around as the last horse goes in the ring. You'll be surprised. Now, even we didn't say till the last because the horse that I was waiting for all day was one of the last horses, but it was the horse that we ended up with in Leland, Hanover. I'm same as everybody else, human nature. If I give you a group of horses to look at, you're going to gravitate towards one or two, and that guy for sure is a horse that guy for sure. Did anybody even hear what I was saying? That guy for sure is a horse that we wanted. I'm supposed to have this on right now. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. And there we go.
We can start with him if you want. $35,000. A little bit later on in the sale, but some deep pedigree, and I think a couple people were surprised you were able to walk away with them for just $35,000.
I was one of them. We had the horse vetted out. He was a horse that I had pegged as our premium horse from the day we got to the sale and looked around all throughout day one. This was the guy that I wanted, and I saw the bidding slow right away, and I was surprised. I've seen it happen before, but I was just so shocked. And to get the horse, I tell everybody things like this happen in the sale all the time, and you're left saying, "Oh, geez, did I miss something?" And I never do that because I know we've looked, double checked, triple checked. We had the horse vetted out. I had everything I needed, all the information in front of me I needed, and even I was left saying, "Did I miss something there? What just happened?" So Leland, Hanover, listen, none of this matters. There's 900 horses that are going to be sold. You're going to have to wait till next summer to watch them all race, but it is a little surprising to me.
Just for the fact that it's brother to Better's Wish out of Captain Treacherous.
Listen, if you want me to critique the horse, there was a Captain Treacherous named Starship, another brother, but he also made $400,000 and paced him 49. So he's got a half brother by Better's Delight that was a world champion and now a fairly accomplished stud. He's getting better and better and better each year to the point where people were a little sheepish after the first year, but now people are looking for Better's Wish horses. Now you had Better's Wish, who was a Better's Delight, and you say, well, it's totally different with the line. Well, his other brother Starship just under 400 and pays 49.4.
Yeah, it seems like maybe it could be a Colt family as well. The Rainbow in the Dark is then the mother of 7 Colors.
Yeah.
And then a mother, I believe, of one that sold for $800,000. I don't know. 2-year-old, I'm pretty sure, racing down in Kentucky. So maybe it's just a Colt-struck family.
It's a good family. That's what it is. It's a good family. And for this horse to bring this amount of money, I'm still surprised. But it is what it is, and we're just lucky to have them. And there was, I'd done a video on the way over here for our clients about, horses we didn't get. Horses, looking back, I should have bought that horse. I should have bought that horse. But you don't get that opportunity. You have to. It's like a boat, right? It's very difficult to turn it around. And when it comes to the horses we didn't get, turn the page. It is what it is. I'm going to focus on the ones we did get. And Leland, Hanover. I'm still, well, you can see the number. That was the low-end number that I was looking at day one, and I was surprised.
Maybe everyone was just kind of sick of being here all day.
I'm telling you, this is a marathon day, and I actually heard a couple of it seemed like halfway through the day they realized that they were falling behind a little bit, and this truly happens. And it just seemed like the last 2 hours they just kind of blew through the sale. And I had heard a couple of the consignments were complaining that maybe they were rushing a little bit. Now I really don't think Leland Hanover just trended that way from the time he walked in the ring. So I can't really say that was the reason. I don't really know. For whatever reason, myself and a handful of other people were the ones that were actually looking at Leland Hanover.
Well, we'll work backwards then moving on to 482.
472, I think.
472?
No, I didn't get Hoshi Hanover.
472.
We can talk with him, though, if you want.
I wrote down the wrong number. Just a $10,000 purchase. You got a
Well, that's why we bought him.
And-
You may not be familiar with the stable, but this horse right here, Locatelli.
Yep.
Nancy Tactor raced him in the handball, great horse. But we had him for 2.5 years, and he did very good for us. He set the track record at Mohawk in January, I believe, of 51 apiece or 15 apiece. He was a really good horse for us for a while, but just fell into that category where this year has been a good problem to have. We've just had a number of horses that just weren't quite the best, and they were just kind of congregating in the same place. And we decided to move Locatelli. We put him up for auction, and we sold him, and he sold for very, very good money. I think when all the dust settled, we bought him for 93 or 95 or somewhere around there here at Harrisburg a few years ago off Nancy, maybe 4 years ago. He made somewhere around $250,000, and we sold him for $93,000 on Ungate this spring. So he was a good horse for us. Again, when you look at this family of Locatelli, then Gatka Hanover is the mother of Gaines Hanover, right? Heaven's Door was a pretty nice horse too. And down in the second dam, you have I'm the Answer, who made 370 in North America, internationally 300 and a world champion. So great family top to bottom. Now the Green Shoe fillies were selling super strong yesterday, which I alluded might happen at the start of the sale. But the colts, some of them yes, some of them no. This was a big, tall, gangly colt, much like Locatelli. Now, Locatelli was in Muscle Hill, sold for a lot of money, made money, good horse. This guy is a Green Shoe, quite a bit different make and model, and a little taller and lankier. I just thought he was a really, really nice horse. In fact, we were back looking at horses at Preferred, and I knew that he was coming up, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to take a stroll up to the ring. I'll be right back. And to buy him for $10,000 was surprising. I can't really tell you why that happened, but it did. And again, just one of those anomalies in the sale where this pedigree colt or filly should have fetched quite a bit more money for the horse that you're seeing in your video right now.
And it's been talked about throughout the year, just the fact of maybe Green Shoe didn't have a good first crop, maybe not the best, but he's really came out in the last
second right now.
Yeah, second crop, and it really maybe took a step forward, which sometimes does happen, right?
No, his horses are second in North America. They might have slid to fourth, but I think if people look at the numbers of Green Shoe, and I said this throughout the week to our clients, but when you look at the total body of work of Green Shoe, the only thing that he's done is let down the extremely high expectations that were set. That bar was set so high for this horse that he was either going to be a generational sire or he was going to be this huge flop that people just shied away from. And when you look at his, as I said, his entire body of work, he's done a good job. It hasn't been a horrible thing. And you know, we've had some Green Shoes. They weren't great. They were good. They were meat and potatoes horses that just went out and did their work and raced. But that's what they were bought to do, right? And I think you see that reflective in the way the fillies were. We had, if you go back and look at yesterday's video, I told you I was certain we would get everything we wanted yesterday. I got my pacing colt, and we got a trotting filly that I liked, but she was not on our top 10 list. That doesn't mean she's not going to go out and do great things. But the fillies I thought we would get no problem, I wasn't even close.
I feel like everybody that I talked to yesterday was aiming towards wanting a trotting filly. They're a very hot commodity right now.
You see that trend, right? And I said to my wife, Amy, this morning we woke up and we were talking about this, and I had said to her, this industry is much like society as far as the trends, the financial trends go, and really the trends of the entire world, but it moves quicker. And what you're going to see is a lot of these fillies be purchased, and then the breeding, because there's so many high-powered, well-bred trotting fillies, you're going to actually see, and people may not like to hear this, but you're actually going to see the value of those horses dip a little bit, because it's simple supply and demand, right? You have all of these well-bred trotting fillies that people want to give a fortune for. They're going to finish racing them, they're going to reach out to the breeding farms, and what they're going to find in a few years, they're not worth as much as they thought they were. And that's 2, 3, 4 years down the road. That's my prediction anyway. They're still good horses. They're going to make great horses for us in this industry for years to come, but you do see those trends if you follow them. And nothing wrong with that. You know, you still have to go out and race these horses. When we talk about buying trotting fillies, we use it, most people do, as a safety net, right? Well, you're not going to lose your shirt totally because they're going to be worth some sort of value to the breeding farms. They are, but I think you might see that dip just a little bit, and you see that in the... It was funny because my father follows what we do, obviously, very closely. And 391 I liked. I didn't say a bad thing about her. We bought her for pretty much what I said she was worth. No shocks or surprises there. But when you look, I got a message from my father, who originally I just thought he'd say, "This is a nice filly." No, he said that this was on his list, and he really, really liked this filly. This was Randy and Bob Hutchison picked this horse out. They loved her, and I had no issue with her. She was a beautiful filly and fit into what we were trying to do. But again, it was tough. It was so tough to buy a trotting filly yesterday that I just didn't get to talk about her as much as I wanted, I suppose.
I think I've talked about it a few times in the past this week, just how flashy the Captain Corys are and how much they do catch your eye. Everybody's focused, on the green shoes, or here even the green Manly. She's being up top sire now in Ontario, but the Captain Corys just are so flashy.
Yeah, I like to say all the time, and we've said this about other sires, you can't make that many good-looking horses without having good horses. And the Captain Corys do look great, and I'm pumped because we have 5 broodmares in foal to Captain Cory right now, and he just looks good. They just look flashy, like you said, and they look the part. If you walk by and said, that's what a horse is supposed to look like right there.
Yeah.
And the Captain Corys look that way. They're correct. They have a great presence to them, but they still have to show up on the track.
Yeah,
so we're all going to find out next year.
How many of them take their dad's stride? He was so high gated and just looked so.
He just had that
perfect.
Long, powerful.
Yeah.
I remember I said this to my wife. I remember very vividly the first day I watched him race. It might have been his first lifetime start. It definitely was his first stake in Pennsylvania. I remember I come home and I said, I watched Aki Svanstedt win with a horse today that looks like the best horse I've ever seen in my entire life. He destroyed them playfully in his first stake race and just crushed them. He was just such a nice horse to watch. He just looked better than the other horses every time I watched him race, and if he passes that on, and again, it's important, you talk about the breeding side of it, it's important that an outcross sire by Goo Goo Gaga would come in. You don't have that Muscle Hill, you don't have that Chapter 7 just overloading the industry, and Captain Cory, there's a spot for him, and if these horses show up, he could be a sire that's around and makes a big impact for quite a while in this industry, I believe. That's
cool to see a Goo Goo Gaga gets back just Captain Cory himself from Goo Goo Gaga. I know he's had Goo Goo Gaga has now thrown plenty of champions. He might not get as many sales as we see, but
yeah.
I mean, Captain Cory, and then this year on the mare side, Call Me Goose, at least he's taken a step forward and proved it's just not one that he's thrown, right?
Yeah.
That can step forward and do some good work on the Grand Circuit.
He's done well. I mean, to be honest, one of my top picks in this sale was a Goo Goo Gaga, and I regret not buying her. But I
There's only one filly, right?
Yeah, I was a little hesitant about talking too much about her, but she was actually one of the top pick I said of day one I got was a colt, but on the filly side was that filly, and we didn't get her just the way it shook out. But man, oh man, throwing some nice horses. We did have a European gentleman come up and ask us if we would take a Goo Goo Gaga. So although we didn't buy the Goo Goo Gaga, we got one.
Scored one.
Yeah, she's coming. She'll be in the barn in the next 3 weeks. So, really, really happy to have that. It was weird because somebody asked me. I told everybody we're buying 6 horses here. We're not buying 7. We're buying 6. I've worked as hard as I could to stay under, and we will, I believe, stay under. If we find that PA trotting filly, I may have to shift Locatelli's brother outward inside the stable, but outward from us. And I'll happily do that. That's fine with me. But when it comes down to what we thought we'd have, I think we had 40 coming into the sale. We buy 6. There's 46. That's a nice number. We've already had 3 people send us horses privately, so it looks like we might get to 50 at some point after all, I guess.
We will be excited to see go in. Well, you're already going in kind of sets, right, with them?
Oh yeah. Once we get them on the track and they start to understand what their job is, we don't waste much time putting them in sets. So when I'm there, we usually say, okay, everybody go to jog. Everybody turn. If you see one of our horses out there jogging along, everybody turn and just jog in a set. There's no reason not to. So anytime we can get them a little more experience and a little more knowledge about what they're about to undertake, then we do that when we can.
So what's the number you're at now?
I think if you rolled it all together right now, we're around 49.
And how many from Harrisburg?
6.
So are you looking today?
I am looking for a trotting filly, but as I said, if I do, then John Evans had said he would buy Locatelli's brother, which I'm perfectly fine with. it's contingent on us as a group. I just thought collectively 6 was a good number for us. If we pick up a PA trotting filly, fine. It is going to have to be one that I want and at our price, and that will be an absolute today.
But that was just yearlings, right? You can still shop for racehorses.
Oh yeah. We have 4 horses. You and I talked briefly about that yesterday. We do have 4 horses that are on my list that are selling on Friday. I don't have much interest in being here tomorrow. We have more than enough brood mares. We should have some of our brood mares at that sale, but we have more than enough brood mares, so I don't need to be here for the fabulous fillies or for the brood mares section of it or anything like that. And then you have a couple of weanlings in there and some yearlings tomorrow. There's not a lot for Amy and I might. It is Christmas season.
Yeah.
We might go Christmas shopping tomorrow.
Wow, I would never know what to do. I wouldn't be able to hold gifts this long. If I bought somebody a gift right now?
No, it's mostly just our family. I'll get Mark a wool sweater or something with the Grinch on it, but James doesn't need anything. He's had a good enough year.
He can buy his own gifts.
He can get his own gifts this year.
We will see if there's any comments in the chat before we forget. Nope, none.
None. Nobody has any comments?
But if you are watching, do comment in the chat and we'll make Anthony answer all of the questions. So today, moving forward, just trotting fillies.
Just trotting fillies, that's it. Just trotting fillies, and it's a little somber in here today. I don't know. Did anything else happen yesterday? I wasn't really paying attention.
Well, we were a little bit late coming on the air because the fire alarm went off this morning.
It did. The fire alarm did go off this morning, but it was nothing. I think it was.
It was just a false alarm they set in their system.
Yeah.
Good thing, because me and Curtis didn't really. Me and Curtis didn't move that quickly to get out of here if there was something wrong. But just a little glitch in the system, and.
All is well now. You know what? We were talking about interviews. I was hoping I would stumble across Mike Moss over there. That's the guy that does all the tattooing. And of course, we tattoo all of our horses all the time for a number of reasons. Marcia Hammerling, she is the one that kind of championed that with us. A couple of years back, it was very important. It was a big movement going on. They were going to move away from it. Then they weren't. Then they were. And I'm glad. I'm happy that we definitely tattoo all our horses. For various reasons. So, moving on, yesterday the first horse that we bought was, when you look at what we've done, I guess it's worth noting, the first horse we bought was Meshuggah's brother. Meshuggah is a very good horse this year. The second horse we bought was Temporal Hanover's brother. The third horse was Poppy Rob Hanover's brother. And the last horse was Better's Wish's brother. So we were definitely after some powerful families.
And yesterday here, I will note before we forget, it's not cold in here today. I don't think it's cold in here today. No, it's beautiful,
and that is very important. It is going to be a beautiful day in Harrisburg. For the Canadians out there, it's going up to 23 Celsius.
Yeah.
So that's, let me do the math quick, 23, 46, about 80, 82, 81, 82, I believe, degrees today in Harrisburg. It's going to be a beautiful day. So no meat being hung today. I wish day one had been this warm.
Yeah, same. I know I rolled over and it was already 60 degrees, and I'm like, well, at least I'm not going to freeze in there today, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first horse we did buy yesterday, I don't know if we talked about him, did we? Yeah, the Poppy Rob Hanover brother?
Nope.
I like this colt. Yeah. Now, it's weird because I thought this horse would bring quite a bit more money also, but then Tall Dark Stranger, it's just the way it is. The sale all year has been off Tall Dark Stranger. If you were looking for value and to roll the dice, it would have been a good place to look because they had some real deep pedigrees being sold yesterday. I know a number of my friends had bought Tall Dark Strangers just looking for a bargain, and they very well likely could have got one. It is worth noting. We talk about it. The breeders talk about it all the time. Also, Betterslide himself had a terrible, horrible first year of breeding. You were about -8, I think, back then. But Betterslide had a horrible year the first year breeding. The second year was a bounce back, and then he took off. And Betterslide was obviously the generational sire he is today. Made such an impact in 2 hemispheres. And again, this is his second crop, Tall Dark Stranger. So I wouldn't shy away from it, and I certainly didn't when picking up Perfection Hanover. This is Poppy Rob Hanover's brother. We had bought the first foal out of Kissin' in the Sand in Lexington by Tall Dark Stranger, and I just thought pedigrees were just too nice. Now they're both colts; they weren't fillies, but the pedigrees were just too nice, and the horses themselves, the individuals, were just too nice not to.
And everybody maybe gives up, right? After the first year of them not taking off and being the most successful, everyone just kind of gives up on them. And then if this year they come back and have a good year, then the sale will pick right back up.
You saw that with
next
Green
year.
Shoe, right?
Right.
And when it comes to this horse, you're right. People give up because it's their money, right?
Right.
They look at the trends and what happened this year, on the racetrack. They listen to their trainers or other trainers about how their horses by Tall Dark Stranger trained down, and they make a decision. I'm going to support the stud or I'm not going to. The breeders still did, right? For the most part, in Lexington anyway. But I believe that the word is out as far as this crop. They weren't going to be protected. Now, is that going to be a mistake? This is a huge opportunity for everyday people to reach in and buy some pedigrees that otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford. I told everybody we had bought the Kissin' in the Sand colt in Lexington. It was probably a $200,000 or $300,000 horse. We paid $72,000 for him. This is Poppy Rob Hanover's brother, and he was a gorgeous colt. We bought him for $27,000. So I think what's going to happen is, and I'll reach out to all our partners because you and I haven't talked much about the buckets and how they work, but we're probably going to put both those horses in the buckets, 2 horses. Now, I wouldn't say Perfection Hanover was on my radar to be our top horse anyway, but at that price it was really hard to dismiss him. My top pick was $35,000. We were looking to buy a pacer for around $120,000. We bought 2 top pedigrees, 2 very, very good colts, and they came in half off of what we were going to put in the bucket. So the people that were in that bucket to begin with are going to get an opportunity. Do you believe it's a good idea? I think it is. Put them both in there. You can have them both. If you don't want to share in either one of them, I'll happily take it back, because I just think that we were very fortunate to buy 1, if not 2, very talented looking horses from this sale.
And he, Tall Dark Stranger himself, he had all that fight in him. So maybe just the first year, same with Green Shoe, like we just mentioned, it could just not be there. And then year 2, hopefully he comes back. And if the Kissin' in the Sand has, she was a phenomenal mare herself, and just if he does come back and throw something, that is a absolute bargain. You said 97,000, right?
72 for that one. Yeah, he was 72. This one was 27. I just thought, so there's obviously $99,000.
Yeah.
We get 2 of the top pedigrees in the industry.
People probably would never think that you would buy Kissin' in the Sand's baby for less than $200-300.
Yeah. And when you look at this, when you look at these pedigrees, also, I mean, the other thing that the breeders are looking for, and it never dawns on me, is, well, maybe we just haven't hit the right cross yet, right? Now, I don't know. The Rock and Roll Hanover is, I'm sure they bred lots of the Western Hanover mares and Rock and Roll Hanover mares. I have no idea. I don't follow that close enough, but I can tell you one thing. Regardless, this is a good-looking horse, and I was really happy to pick him up.
You know my dad, right?
Very well.
He always says if the mom paced in 51 and the dad paced in 47, if we can't get him to go in 55, we're in trouble.
Isn't that the truth? So it's this is a very unique sale in the sense that there was a ton of deep pedigrees. And here's another one. Temporal Hanover. It's a $45,000 Captain Corey. This is the brother last year, if I'm not mistaken. If you look up the brother last year, it was $500,000. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Top Gun, Tandem, both those horses were expensive. People say, oh, well, they didn't race that well. All right, well, one was a Walner. They were both Walners. This is not. This is Captain Corey. And you can say, well, the other Walner did make $972,000. So it's still a very, very good family. You look on the second name, you have Glidemaster World Champion. People forget, right? Glidemaster didn't really make it as a sire, so to speak, but they forget how dominant he was on the track. He made $1.9 million and was an absolute specimen on the racetrack. So you really, when you look at this pedigree, it's another horse we shouldn't really have been able to afford, but they are selling 900 horses. If you do take your time, you can find the horses you want. People can say what they want, but to buy Meshuggah's brother, to buy Captain Corey out of Think Twice, Temporal Hanover's mother, it's just not likely. If you'd have asked me when we got here, I did tell everybody that I was concerned. I wasn't concerned. I was hopeful that maybe there was a financial ceiling for Captain Corey, and there was so many other horses in here, and there were so many Captain Corys here that maybe we would be able to find a deal, and it would be this guy, because the last 2 kind of once bitten, twice shy type deal with some of the bigger trainers. This would be the horse we could get, and we did. And maybe he'll turn out to be a flop. I have no idea, but at $45,000, it's a much easier pill to swallow than the $500,000 that they had 2 before.
Do we have any packages to show the people for today?
Well, I'm not the producer, but we do have.
Did you film any?
I think Curtis said we had 5, but Curtis is over there eating banana bread and not talking to us. So, do you have any packages, Curtis, you'd like to show? Oh, you do? Did you want to play producer, or are we just going to finish off with the banana bread?
You got it? They should be all Tron fillies, right?
You know what, I don't know now that you say it, I'm not sure, but they should be, theoretically, if you go by what I just said. No, I know I did at least one pacing filly, but there were some horses that we did shoot before.
Yeah.
Before we had said.
Set our limits for today, for day 3.
So you are going to see a mix. Yes.
We will throw you to the first package of the day, and when we come back, it might be Anthony, it might be a special guest. We will never know.
It'll likely be a special guest. Number 569. No, we don't need. I'm sure we did a video on this horse. Curtis says we did not. This is a good-looking colt, except if I was to make if I have one problem, one bone to pick with this guy, his right front foot is a hair, and I mean a hair, Dishy. And it's a white foot, which only gives me more pause. I wasn't going to do the video of him, and I said, you know what? I see Pickpocket in the second dam, Moneymaker in the third dam. This is a ready for money. It's unlikely we buy him, but I did want to show you him because he is a good-looking individual. As I said, and I'm not positive about it, but especially with a white foot, you can see everything a little bit more. If that foot was dark, I don't think we're talking about him right now in the same way. He obviously doesn't show any issues with it. His video is great, but at the same time, it does give me pause. He is a big, good-looking, ready-for-money horse, and therein lies the biggest problem of all. We don't really need another Ohio bred, but I'd hate to see him go for nothing. John won't let me let him go for nothing. Number 569, Bag Full of Money. This is day 3, the last full day of yearlings. Day 3, Ohio bred, ready for money, colt. And Massachusetts also, Ohio and Massachusetts.
Might as well be Mars.
Yeah, that's right. Might as well be Mars. 569 selling on day 3 here in Harrisburg.
That Gaines Hanover brother?
Oh, that horse in the ring. This is, now pay attention, this is a Bold Eagle colt. He's got a nice video. He is a good-looking bugger, and he's not staked to anything, and I mean nothing. You can stake him to the Arden, the Bluegrass, the Breeders' Crown, the Champlain, the Courier Knives, the Dexter Cup, the Hambletonian, Who's Your Stake, the Horseman, the Kentucky Futurity, the Old Vulcan Bucket, the Simcoe, Standardbred, Swedish Breeders' Crown, the Ralph Wilfong, the Yonkers Trot, the Zwig, and that's it. He is not regionally staked because of his daddy, but he's a good-looking horse. And I told everybody I get 1 flyer per sale. Now, it may end up being that really nice-looking pacing colt we bought today, but it may not. You know what? It may be the Golden Eagle. I have no interest at all, not that worried at all about the no staking. There's plenty of stakes for him as a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. If he's a good horse, he can make money in plenty of other places. But for right now, he's just a nice colt that caught my eye here at Anvil and Lace, a March 15th colt by world champion Bold Eagle. This is his boy, Golden Eagle, selling on the last day here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You know, it's been a long time since I bought an American Ideal. I actually bet on a couple in this sale, didn't get either of them. And this right here is another American Ideal out of an Art Escape mare that had 18 wins, made $100,000. You know what? Just one of those horses that kind of caught my eye from across the room, bouncing around and playing around out here. I can honestly say this would be one of those throw-in horses, right? One of those horses that's going to fill up a bucket, but definitely moves nice in her video, definitely looks good out on the floor, and a really, really good-looking filly. This is a March 30th, New York only eligible, American Ideal pacing filly. Her name is My Ideal Arcana. Selling on the last day here in Harrisburg, day number 3 from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Number 610, My Ideal Arcana. She looks nice. Yep.
Most of those things I don't really need to be here waving.
Well, I just bought my flyer, so this is a bit of an obsolete video. 686, a Captain Crunch, the brother to Thunder Hunter Joe. We tried to buy Thunder Hunter Joe before the Little Brown Jug 2 years ago. Really, really nice horse in New York. It's made $420,000, America 49-2. This is his little brother, also the 12th foal. He also has a brother, Bring the Thunder, $204,000 made, America 50. Rock Idol, 100.5 made, America 50-1. And you see Arts Virtue down in the second dam, 1.1 million. Lots of money, lots of speed in this family. And I thought, geez, you know, we've only ever had one Captain Crunch. He's been pretty good to us. Would it be worth going in for a second? I just left it as is. So although we likely won't get Crunch My Thunder, it's a pretty good name. The filly here, dual eligible, Pennsylvania, New Jersey Standardbred Development Fund. Although we likely won't get her, I still thought I'd bring you the video. She is a good-looking filly. If you're out there looking for a filly that might be affordable, number 686 definitely fits the bill. Crunch My Thunder is selling last day, number 686 here. That's a May 17th foal. Wow. Selling here tomorrow, day 3 in Harrisburg.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Sealster, a name synonymous with quality. From their picturesque farm in Lucan, Ontario, Sealster Farms has been producing champions for decades. Stars like $650,000 winner Poseidon Sealster, millionaire mares Karma and Kendall Sealster, and two-time O'Brien Award-winning Stockade Sealster. Sealster is also the home of many of Canada's top stallions, like Sunshine Beach, All Bets Off, and world champion superstar Bulldog Hanover. the sport's all-time fastest performer. Find your next champion at Sealster Farms. For more information, visit SealsterFarms.com.
Winback Farm of Delaware is home to 8 exceptional stallions. New in 2024, Nutcracker Sweet, a full brother to Double Millionaire Better Sweet and half brother to the Great Sweet Lou. World Champion He's Watching, a proven sire of stakes winners, including Double Millionaire Tattoo Artist, Sports Column, an Ontario Sire Stakes star, and a 19-time winner. Top Flight Angel, who won the Yonkers Trot Final and is a multiple New York Sire Stakes champion. Also standing, Badlands Hanover, Classic Card Shark, Glide Master, and Ronnie Spags again. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallion. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi.
with an
World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit TaraHills.com.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Right now. We are back live, day 3 from Harrisburg, and was correct. Anthony ran off already, so very special guest is Steve Stewart. Steve, thank you for joining us, and plenty to talk about this week. And we'll start with the horse you just retired there,
Yes.
Breeders' Crown Night, Jiggy Jog. Just take us through the ride that she was able to take you guys on.
Well, we had gotten a call. Cindy and I had gone to the Prix de Marique, and we'd gotten a text. We were in Luxembourg at the time. It was after the Prix de Marique, and that she was for sale. And the gentleman wanted $1.7 million, and it kind of went in one ear and out the other with me or whatever. And then we got home, and then he came back. My buddy knew him that we happened to be with, and at the time having dinner, and he says, well, I know the owner, so I'll give him a call. So he calls him, and I think he's from Mallorca or someplace in the Mediterranean. So he calls him and says that yes, I need to sell the filly, and it's $1.7 million. And my buddy tells him, he says, well, give us a week. And I made the joke. I said, well, you could have given us a month, is in my mind at the time. So we ended up coming home like 3 days later, and he calls back, like my buddy or whatever in Europe, European guy that knew him, and said he lowered the price to 1.6. So it just kept, when you got home and we were gone for 2 weeks, it's like you're busy, and it's kind of Jiggy Jog kind of went away in your mind. But then it kind of kept rearing its head or whatever. So I called my partners and Black Creek Farm and a lot of the Amish guys or whatever, and I said, okay guys, you guys always are interested in the best ones and whatever, here you go. And so we started talking about it, and the fun thing that we have with the partners is Aaron and John and Elmer and Lester and Mr. Lowenfeld in Canada, who ended up putting a group together. It's a group think. So a lot of times, somebody said, well, what does she look like? And they said, well, I'll call so-and-so. They know the Swansteads, and they can go over there and look. And there's John Smucker now. And so we ended up doing our due diligence. How much money can she make? How much, And so really the solidifying thing that happened was the guy, John Bootsman, our friend and that we were having dinner with in Luxembourg, calls Aki. And Aki was somewhere in up north of Sweden because they had gone to the Elite Lop, and then Sarah came back and he went to Sweden, obviously his home country, and he ended up talking to him and got his cell number and found him or whatever, and basically they just, went on and on about how, she's the perfect one for age racing and whatnot. So we ended up doing the deal, and we all kind of threw in.
Right?
No, this was this year.
Oh.
It was this year, and when she was 5. So she had already made $2 million.
Right.
She had already become the aged trotter of the year. She had raced 11 times as a 4-year-old in 2023. She never finished worse than second, and made 1.1 million as a 4-year-old. And so it was like, well, now it looks like, we're geniuses. And I said that at the time, I said, we're going to look real smart or real dumb. Because you use the example of Bella Bellini. Bella Bellini, in her 5-year-old career, Mr. McDuffie and Nifty or whatever had great plans to go to Europe, and they were going to do this and they were going to do that. And then that summer she raced and kind of decided, I don't think she went lame. She just probably decided, like a lot of us or whatever, as we get older, I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm not at the same level I was. So this filly just became, even greater and than she was at 4. I mean, every time Dexter got off the bike, he said, he said, she's bigger and stronger than she was as a 4-year-old. And that's kind of what Aki and them had said. So Aki and Sarah bought into the horse too. So once they put up their $160,000 for 10%, and that's kind of what all of us did. We all there's about 10 of us that put up $160,000, and then obviously she did great things. And I guess the most impressive race was on Hamiltonian Day in the Cashman, where the race, I've never seen it before, where the race starts and you could see the rain coming, and it was a torrential downpour. And when the horses got into the first, when the gate opened, it was dry. And then as all those aged trotters go around the first turn, the rain hit them right in the face. And I'm thinking, that's not something that they normally do. You would never take a horse out there and train them in the driving rainstorm. So they're just tough horses. So then she trots in 49-2 in a driving rainstorm. I'm sure the track wasn't, sloppy by the time she finished. It was probably getting sloppier. So she ends up winning that. That was probably the most impressive race. And then she won the International, and she raced 6 times and won all 6 times, beating the boys and girl power and whatnot. So, and then obviously, unfortunately, she pulled some ligaments below her ankle, right below her sesamoids or whatever. That, in a way, the way it worked out was probably better in the fact that it was black and white. It wasn't, a lot of times horses will injure themselves and whatever, they have an injury or whatever. Well, maybe she'll be able to go, well, we can try. But this was so severe that our vet said, don't even think about it. So that made it a little bit more palatable to accept the fact that she was done. And she had made $930,000 this year. She's second behind Twin Beach Joe Fresh, and she'll I'm sure will be Trotter of the Year. And so it's kind of a unique situation for Cindy and I, because normally we just breed and we get to go to the winter circle when the horses win the big races and stuff like that. But when you own them, I came to the realization this summer why so many people spend so much money buying horses. I mean, we owned part of Tactical Landing when he raced, and we had bred him, but he was a very short period of time from about he didn't really get good till his 3-year-old year, and raced about 4 months and made $800,000. And then he was so valuable because being a son or a brother of Mission Breed, he goes off to stud and syndicates him for $7 million. So we couldn't take a chance on racing him at 4. And so this is kind of unique for us or whatever. And then we ended up with part of Maryland or whatever. We own 10% of Maryland, and that all happened last year when one of our main clients, Andrew Strom, ends up buying him for $475,000 at the Lexington sale. And normally your friend or whoever or your client might come to you and say, it'd be a really good idea for you to, why don't you think about taking the part of this expensive yearling? And but he didn't do that. thank goodness, because I probably would have said, oh, no, that's not what we do. We don't really race horses. And we would have declined. But he didn't, Anders didn't do that. He just said, you're in at 10% or whatever. So we wrote the check for $47,500 for 10%, which is very cheap now because he's now won $1.1 million. So we've had an amazing ride with those two horses. And you come from the realization why people spend the money because a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, that yearling's not worth that, or whatever, these crazy prices or whatever. But you realize that it's very difficult in life to replicate such a fun, and it's the anticipation. Okay, she's racing Saturday night, and with standardbreds they race so much more often and stuff like that. So
with Jiggy Jog, I believe it was posted that not a hurtful injury. She was in no pain. They were able to catch it early.
No, she had a little. Yeah, exactly. She's not. Sarah said she's not lame, and she's just had some puffiness around her ankles.
She didn't look
but
lame
that's
walking
probably why. Yeah, exactly. When she came to the,
she was
poor
full of
Sarah
herself.
crying, and you get pretty emotional when they, especially her, because she's with her and she would always talk about her almost to the point of it's like her daughter that she doesn't have. She has two sons, but you're right. But that's probably was her downfall, was the fact that she's so tough that a normal horse would have probably given more signs of it hurts, when you're training and stuff like that. So,
at least she was able to go out a champion,
yes,
like you said.
Yeah, exactly right. And that was my other comment, was that normally you race them and they back through the field and whatever.
Then you realize
I use the boxer
wrong.
analogy where that won too many boxing matches and they get pummeled or whatever, and they go out a loser, but she's going out a winner.
So Maryland, you said you touched on it, owns 10% of that. He's won the Breeders' Crown. He won the Mohawk Million. He's won about 4 or 5 races in a row.
Yeah.
The Peter Houghton at Hoosier, and he's really taken a step forward. And then his half brother sells here for
$1 million.
Yeah, for $1 million.
Yeah, right. And the good thing for us is that we bred Crucial. We're the breeders of Crucial, who's the first foal of Jolene, which we own. Jolene or whatever has just been a phenomenal, and that was a funny thing or whatever. She sold here she sold here whenever it was 8 years ago or something like that, and she cost $200,000, which now, that was a lot of money, but now the prices have just accelerated and increased dramatically. But she was a world champion at 2. She just happened to be racing the same year as Mission Brief, so that, and then Mission Brief passed her in the Red Mile. But she had the fastest time as a 2-year-old trotting filly, and she really didn't come back very well at 3, so they sold her, and we buy her. And the comment that every breeder should hang their hat on, that sometimes the public doesn't know or doesn't have all the answers or whatever. So everybody commented that when we bought her, that and it's a bunch of Amish guys again, and myself and Cindy or whatever, and so it's a great group of us or whatever. But everybody commented. They said, beautiful mare, very fast mare, and but no pedigree. That was the comment at the time, no pedigree. And when you looked at it, it was just her or whatever. Well, guess what? Now everybody wants the pedigree. Yeah, it's exploded, because now. But then she had 5 fillies in a row. So now you're going to have all of those fillies starting to produce. We sold Ineffable was a filly that we sold for $600,000, and she was a Cantab. She is a Cantab. She's at the farm now, and owned by our landlords from Sweden. And they bought her for $600,000, and when she sold, she was the highest priced trotting filly of all time. So yeah, there's a lot of explosion in the family, to say the least.
So touched a little bit on the horses that you own, and now we'll focus on the yearlings. Day 3 of Harrisburg. How were the first 2 days?
They were good. We had some inexpensive yearlings that sold yesterday, just like everybody. The prices have kind of gone up and down, but probably accordingly, maybe. I think it's been a very good sale. If you have what they want, we've sold a couple of nice Huntsvilles, and people really want them. And that's always funny that, yearlings will sell except the first crop, they will always sell. The value of a yearling is based on what the previous years have done. Mm-hmm. So Huntsville, if you'd sold the 2 horses that we sold, one brought 80, one brought 70. I guarantee you, if those horses had sold 2 years ago, when Huntsville wasn't as popular as he is now, they probably would have bought half of what they sold for. We sold another Huntsville filly in Lexington for $87,000. So it's all. I always find it funny that 1 year, oh well, we don't want Huntsvilles, and then that crop that nobody wanted goes out and races really well, and then okay, now we want them now.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch the betting public, I guess you might say, and the owners and trainers that come.
It could be the same thing right now with the Tall Dark Strangers.
Exactly.
Nobody wants him.
Exactly. We sold him as a yearling for $330, and I thought at the time, I felt like, gosh, he's an automatic horse or whatever. He's such a grand-looking individual. He's bigger than most betting lines or bettors delights, you know. But I think the one thing that hurts him is his bloodline being a bettor's delight, and then betting line didn't live up to his expectations, and most of the son. So I think that kind of hurts him a little bit more or whatever. And Green Shoe fell into that category a little bit. You know, I mean, basically, you all you have to do is perception is the rule. And if the perception is that you don't live up to your expectation, it really doesn't matter what you or I think. It's the betting public again or whatever is saying that they didn't live up to their expectations. And obviously his 2-year-olds have not lived up to their expectations, but we can come back there. Yeah. We could sit right here with you next year, and they might, those 2-year-olds will come back or whatever and be 3-year-olds, and Tactical Landing was the same way. After his first crop, everybody said, oh, you know, what do you think? My comment to them, to everybody, because we bred him and we own part of him or whatever, so you got a lot of, what do you think from people? And I said, he will, all I can tell you, should I sell my share? I said, no, don't sell your share of Tactical Landing. Whatever he is perception-wise now will be higher, whatever that was. And little did we know that his first 2 crops have produced 2 Carl and Tactical Approach, who we bred. So it's kind of a fun ride with him.
One of the ones you and your wife Cindy had to be excited about, Tip 82, $525,000, a Mission Brief baby out of Walner.
Yeah, he was an exceptional yearling, and I think we're going to find out or whatever. But so Jeff Snyder and Leonard Ogren or whatever, who goes by SRF, have purchased this one. But then they also purchased Cadena, who topped the sale, was the highest price yearling last year at $800,000 from her. So and the knock on the mare at the moment is that you see a lot of fast times, but not a lot of money. And so the 3-year-old has really shown, you know, the Green Shoe colt,
Vic Zelensky,
Vic Zelensky or whatever, is now trotted. He's the fastest trotter, and unfortunately made a break. We lost Dexter in the elimination for the Breeders' Crown. He took off and went to I think Logan, whatever his name is, and drove him or whatever. And Marcus had said that he had figured out the horse, that he knew, and not pointing a finger at whoever drove him, it doesn't matter, that when he pulled on the right line going down the back stretch, you got to be really careful that he'll get his legs tangled up. So unfortunately, he made a break in the elimination of the Breeders' Crown. But what's interesting is it goes back to the people know. In other words, you can look at a piece of paper and you can look at a pedigree and say, well, gosh, you know, there's not a lot of money there or whatever, and all those were extremely expensive horses. But everybody knows there's a lot of talent there, and it shows on their speed or whatever. But I think Marcus has got the family figured out, and we're very happy that he's going to go there. So it's going to be a fun ride. And they asked us if we wanted to. We only own 10% of her, and they asked Jeff asked us if we wanted to keep 10%. And so I think we were going to. And my joke there is that I told him, I said, well, if after Maryland's 10% or whatever, if this horse ends up being good, people will say, you're in for my 10% too.
No kidding. One question I have before I'll let you go, how do you decide this is obviously a standout breeding. How do you decide which ones go to Lexington and which ones come to Harrisburg?
So most of the horses that we have go to Lexington just because the logistics. We're 20 minutes away from the sale or whatever. It's 5 weeks earlier, and it's easier. You have more people coming to the farm to look at the yearlings or whatever. So, but last year and this year, Jolene, who is the grandmother of Maryland, and Mission Brief had the same thing. They both had chimpanzee fillies, and it happened again this year. Both of them had Walner colts. So instead of putting those two iconic mares together, we separated them.
Okay.
And that's how we did those two or whatever. And a lot of it depends on, I think there's more Canadian participation here. So we will sell, a lot of muscle masses here or Green Manalishis here than we do in Lexington. And as an example. And I think there's more New York sire stakes people come here. So if you've got a Huntsville, a lot of times you'll have more participation or more people looking at Huntsvilles for the maybe just New York sire stakes where you can make a lot of money. Or if you've got a Huntsville brother to, whoever that you think maybe Grand Circuit people want more, you might sell them in Lexington. And then you also, the other factor may be the age of the yearling. So if you get an older or a younger one or whatever, you got an extra 5 weeks. Apex really improved a lot. If we had sold him in Lexington, he didn't look the way he does now. So it was a good move. And then Vic Zelensky had done a lot more since cataloging or whatever, so that kind of helped us also.
Well, thank you, because I really wanted to know that as well, and I'm sure the viewers out there, we were talking about it, royalty bred, figured see something like this in Lexington, but you just decided to separate.
Yeah, to separate them and whatever. And we made the comment on a HRU the other day or whatever that to remind people that the last Hamilton, we've bred 3 Hamiltonian winners, one of them being Forbidden Trade, and Forbidden Trade had sold here. So he's the last Hamiltonian. There's been 5 straight Hamiltonian winners come out of Lexington, Carl and whatnot, but the last one was Forbidden Trade that we had bred. So we bring horses, and even at the time there was a couple of people that said, Hunterton takes their best horses to Kentucky, so that's why we didn't buy Forbidden Trade. And and he had sold for 110. The mare, Pure Ivory, had not really done anything that much, but Determination was smart. He was a beautiful horse, and he brought 110 when we were very happy with that. And so hats off to the connections with Determination for buying him and whatever, and obviously did great things with Forbidden Trade. So it's not like we only sell I think we sell enough of them that there's good ones coming from both places.
Right. As we are winding down here to day one, we are 40 minutes away from sale time, so we'll let you go, get back to the consignment, and best of luck, and probably see you in Florida at the Dan Patch Awards.
Yes, you will.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Reach the people you have to reach by advertising in Harness Racing Update, the sport's most comprehensive and timely news source. HRU provides the best bang for your advertising dollars because we reach and engage your potential customers anywhere in the world. Not only has HRU grown its subscriber base by nearly 30% in just 3 years, but our open and click rates far exceed industry averages, which tells us that readers are engaged with the digital publication and how they receive it. Plus, your ad support helps us keep HRU free to subscribers. Find out more today by visiting harnessracingupdate.com and clicking on the advertising link at the top of the page.
Winback Farm of Delaware is home to 8 exceptional stallions. New in 2024, Nutcracker Sweet, a full brother to Double Millionaire Better Sweet and half brother to the Great Sweet Lou. World Champion He's Watching, a proven sire of stakes winners, including Double Millionaire Tattoo Artist, Sports Column, an Ontario Sire Stakes star, and a 19-time winner. Top Flight Angel, who won the Orchestra Final and is a multiple New York Sire Stakes champion. Also standing, Badlands Hanover, Classic Card Shark, Glide Master, and Ronnie Spags again. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Terra Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi.
with an
World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit TerraHills.com.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Back here live from Harrisburg, day 3, as we are winding down to sale time. Like I mentioned, Anthony runs away and sends all these special guests to us. We are joined now by Tom, the owner of the Fox Den Farm. And Tom, it's nice to thank you for joining us. Nice to get to know you here a little bit this morning.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to say that we've been coming to Harrisburg for like 40-some years in several capacities. I used to be the director of operations for the Woodstock Stud Agency. And when Mr. Tully retired, we started an agency of our own. We've had Fox Den Farm since the early 60s. And Maryland, we have stallions and broodmares in Maryland, and we kind of tend to that market. But we also kind of have a dual role. We're agent for a lot of consigners at Harrisburg every year, and we've done that for like 20-some years now.
Something that I'm just learning myself, maybe not being so familiar with the sales aspect of things, is what an agent does. Maybe tell us what an agent will do for that person leading up to the sale and even, sale day, sale week.
First of all, as an agent, you're responsible for a lot of things to the sales company. So people contact us to represent them, and it starts early in like February of the year. And so we do all the logistics of getting the horses entered and getting the required paperwork and stuff in order. And then it splits down to two different situations. Some people send the horses to us to prepare for the sale. Other people prepare them at home and ship them directly to the sale, and then we represent them. Our mission is to bring a limited number of horses. We'd like to bring 20, 30 horses. We think we can do more with a consignment like that. Different things you can do that you can't do with the masses. When I was the director of operation for the Woodstock Stud, we hired a lot of help, and there were just things you couldn't control, and I didn't want to be in that situation. So
you're responsible for bringing them out when people want to come see them.
Oh yeah, we bring an experienced staff from the farm, and our mission is to get the horses out, get them seen, put them in a situation that highlights their qualities, and we do a lot of video presentations, and so people have got to know us. In fact, we have one consignor that is growing his business in Western PA, Monahonga Farms, and he gave several agents horses one year to see which one he wanted to land with, and we were happy to be his selection, and we've represented his horses now for like 3 years. In fact, he was a sale topper for us this year with $275,000 for a Captain Treacherous colt the first day. So,
that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so it was good.
And Fox Den Farm is based out of Maryland?
Out of Maryland, yeah. We stand stallions for the Maryland program and raise some homebreds there, and then we do layups, and we foal about 50 mares a year. Breed about 100 mares a year.
And the Maryland program is one of those where if a horse is dual eligible to Maryland, it's really looking maybe appetizing right now, and there's a lot of money to be made in Maryland if you have a Maryland bred.
Yeah, and supply and demand. There's not that many mares in Maryland, so you have a pretty good chance of return on your investment in Maryland. There might be only 20, 30 in some of those divisions that go for like close to $100,000.
And one of them that came out of Maryland, to Call Me Goo this year. She was a Maryland bred, and really maybe stamped the Maryland breds, and she made it on the Grand Circuit. Obviously, won the Armbro Flight and the Breeders' Crown, so it's pretty exciting just for the state of Maryland itself.
Oh yeah, and a lot of things come out of Maryland. Goo Goo Gaga came out of Maryland, you know. So there's some farms in Maryland that really do a good job. We hope to think we're one of them.
Yeah, we're day 3 of Harrisburg. How was the first 2 days overall for the Fox Den?
First day we only had the one Captain Treacherous colt, and he sold very well. And yesterday, most of our consignment, I thought they brought what they were worth. There's some weak spots, but we had a couple nice surprises too. So, and we got like, I think, I don't count them here, something like 15 today.
So I was going to say, busy day here on day 3?
Yeah.
And with that, do you also agent out broodmares as well, or do you just stick to more like the yearlings, or broodmares or racehorses, or just stick to yearlings?
No, we have quite a mix sale coming up, and have some really nice racehorses. I think we have 6 fabulous fillies, and Tom Pollock usually sends a bunch of nice horses in for us in the mix sale.
That's a good client to have, right?
Oh yeah, great guy.
They've spent plenty of money here this week, so it's pretty, they replenish the racehorse sales side of things.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to meet so many nice people in this business. Actually, we're standing a stallion this year owned by Determination in Canada, and just a nice horse, and they wanted a good home for him, and we were happy to make that arrangement with them.
And which stallion is that?
His name is War Wee Roo.
So he will be then Maryland, right? Maryland eligible.
Yeah, he'll be a Maryland trotter. Yeah, he's by a son of Andover Hall. Yeah.
So adding more horses to the stable there, and or the farm, I should say.
Right.
And is Harrisburg just the one sale that you guys come to, or?
Yeah, we used to do more. We sell some of our homebreds online now, but yeah, Harrisburg is. We're an hour and a half from here. It just works good for us, and most of the clients breed Pennsylvania sires, so it's kind of like a good fit.
It's not too far to ship the horses or whatnot. And today, Wednesday, meaning that all the yearlings will be gone at the end of the day, and then you get to bring your racehorse consignment in.
Tonight's a busy day. We get to sell the yearlings, get them moved out of their stalls, get the racehorses in. We have 20-some moving out, 20-some moving in. And so we'll be here to 1, 2 o'clock this morning.
Oh my goodness, it is. It's such a long day. Yesterday was a long day here as well.
Yeah.
They sell so many horses.
We know that coming in.
Yeah. I've never been to Harrisburg. I mean, I've been to most all the other sales, and they've warned me. They said day 2 of Harrisburg is a marathon, and it sure was. It was a long day.
Got to keep the energy up.
Got to get a couple coffees in here.
It helps.
Got to eat lunch. Got to keep the energy up for sure as we do get closer to day 1, already 9:30 here, so we will let you get back to work there. I'm sure busy day. You mentioned plenty of horses selling, and are you going to be here till 1, 2 a.m.?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that is a long day here at Harrisburg. But thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
We'll get you back to work. We'll send you to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm sure we'll have another special guest back here. Thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Sealster, a name synonymous with quality. From their picturesque farm in Lucan, Ontario, Sealster Farms has been producing champions for decades. Stars like $650,000 winner Poseidon Sealster, millionaire mares Karma and Kendall Sealster, and 2-time O'Brien Award-winning Stockade Sealster. Sealster is also the home of many of Canada's top stallions, like Sunshine Beach, All Bets Off, and world champion superstar Bulldog Hanover, the sport's all-time fastest performer. Find your next champion at Sealster Farms. For more information, visit sealsterfarms.com.
Winback Farm of Delaware is home to 8 exceptional stallions. New in 2024, Nutcracker Sweet, a full brother to double millionaire Bittersweet and half brother to the Great Sweet Lou. World champion He's Watching, a proven sire of stakes winners, including double millionaire tattoo artist, sports column, an Ontario Sire Stakes star, and a 19-time winner. Top Flight Angel, who won the Orchestra final and is a multiple New York Sire Stakes champion. Also standing, Badlands Hanover, Classic Card Shark, Glide Master, and Ronnie's Bags Again. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi. World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit terrahills.com.
And welcome back to Harrisburg Day 3, live here for the final day. That's We Go Live, the final day of the yearling sales. And correct, Anthony runs away from me and just sends some special guests towards us. And now we have Julie from Concord Stud Farm. Thank you for joining us here as we get closer to sale time. So we won't keep you for that long. We're just 30 minutes away from the first hip in the ring.
Yes. We've been here since Monday selling our yearlings, and we've had a good go here.
How was day 1 and day 2? Busy consignment over there. A lot of people hang out here in the back ring. They're just right over there. It's been pretty busy for you guys.
Yeah, we sold 76 this year. We're almost done. We have 14 left to go, and we've had a good day, or a good week so far. Our highest price one was hip number 53. And she brought 760, so we were thrilled with that highest price horse that we've sold.
And everybody's been after 53 is a Walner filly, so everybody has been after those. I feel like Anthony's talked about it all week. Trotting fillies were such a hot commodity this year.
Yeah, I wish I had 1,000 of them.
And they, especially out of Walner, of course, his stud fee going up just before sale week to 50,000. So you knew that they were going to bring fireworks, and indeed this one's 760.
Yes,
that is quite a number. Second highest yearling.
Second highest yearling was hip number 133, and we sold her for 525.
So another one.
That's a chimpanzee. Filly sister. I'm sorry, 133. 133. Chimpanzee's sister to chimpanzee.
Yeah, in preliculum of sister, or another sister, another trotting filly though. These are just.
Oh yeah, and I am getting all of my fillies confused now. This was the curriculum one. The chimpanzee one sold for $375.
Still all fireworks, all fillies. So it was a good year for your mares to throw some trotting fillies. And yesterday, just touched on it a little bit. Such a long day here, but it has to be worth it at the end of it.
Yes, it was. We sold one yesterday for $300. So we were thrilled about that. There were still people here, so it's
towards the end of it. Curtis is like, "We've been here for 12 hours," and I'm like, "Well, when you say it like that, it sounds like such a long day," and indeed it was. And yesterday was cold in here, and you're in this building, so it stays a little bit warmer. But if you wander to different wings, it gets a little chilly.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I don't get to wander much. My radius is pretty much right there, consignment to auction ring. But I did see people come in super bundled, and so I gathered it was kind of chilly. That's not today.
Yeah, this was my first year in Harrisburg, and I think I packed for it to be in southern Florida. I threw a couple sweatshirts and long sleeves in, thank God, because it was cold in this building. But today, a lot warmer, different circumstances, and it's going to be a long day yet again though.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be.
So Harrisburg, obviously a big consignment here. Any of the other sales, the Lexington or Goshen or London, does Concord reach out to those?
We sell in Lexington with a significantly smaller consignment. We had 24 there this year. And so we just do these two sales.
And where is Concord based out of?
Our main farm is in New Jersey.
So a lot closer to Harrisburg.
A lot closer, yeah. But we also have a farm in Pennsylvania, and we also have a farm in Kentucky.
Wow, lots of different places to be managed on top of, right?
Yep, it is. But it's worth it.
But all those programs right now with the New Jersey Sire Stakes and the PA Sire Stakes, especially the Kentucky Sire Stakes, on the rise, it's kind of worth it to have all those barns in different places.
Absolutely. Yep, we're able to shuttle all of our mares and all of our client mares around and do what they need to do.
And does that make it easier to have dual eligibility to different places when you have farms that? And it's really been worth it these past few years, maybe this year and last year especially, for those yearlings to be dual eligible.
Yeah, made a huge difference.
And the chimpanzees, of course, if he stands only in Kentucky and the mare's only in Kentucky, you get the bonus, right?
That's correct.
And it's a pretty significant bonus with all the money that they are able to go for.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely making that worth your while.
Yeah, and Oak Grove, I get the two confused. They just finished up yesterday for their final Sire Stakes down there in Kentucky. It's a long season for the 2-year-olds, and even down there in Kentucky, they have the Sire Stakes for the 4-year-olds. But it's got to be worth it to have a farm down there and just go for all of that money. From June till now, you get to go for a very good amount of money.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It is totally worth it. And day 3, pretty busy, I think. Did we touch on it? Day 3 of Harrisburg?
Not super busy here. We only have 14 that we're selling today.
Not too bad.
So out of 76, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Do you guys agent out for any of the brood mares and racehorses, or do you stick to just the yearlings?
Nope, we also have a mixed consignment. We're
so
selling.
Not done yet.
No, we're not done. We're here all week, and we have about 30 selling in the mixed sale as well.
So very busy today with getting the yearlings to their new homes and bringing in the brood mares and racehorses.
Yeah, little changeover day.
Yeah, and it's a long day at the sale, and then I'm sure you got to be here. This guy Tom from Fox 10 said he'll be here till 1 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be here that late. We've got a lot of hardworking guys back there that we get the horses in as soon as we can and get them prepped. But it definitely will not be an early night for them.
Well, we're 20 minutes now. I feel like this is just flying by. Everybody that sits down, we're just 20 minutes away from the first hip of day 3. So we'll let you get back to work. I'm sure we'll bring in somebody else. Maybe Anthony's here finally. He runs away from me all morning.
Yeah, look who's finally showing up over there.
He sits here, talks to me for a little bit, and then runs away and shows people here. So maybe we'll bring in Anthony to wrap up day 3, but thank you for joining us. We'll let you get back to work, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Well, we got one seat left on the bus. Still after that Pennsylvania trotting filly. Reinvest. That's a terrible name for the horse racing industry, but good looking filly. This is one of those Pennsylvania Maryland dealies. She's a green shoe filly out of a credit winner mare. That mare is a sister to Take My Picture. 1.2 million made. Royal Assets, $500,000 made. You have civil action and overruled down in the bottom. That's a surprising horse to find on day 3. This is a really, really good pedigree right here. Good looking green shoe filly right here. I would say I've seen a lot of green shoe fillies. I've seen a lot of green shoe fillies sell for a lot of money. This is a good looking filly. Number 732. Reinvest. Selling on the last day here. Midway through day number 3 here in Harrisburg. What? Number 816, Dilly Hanover. This is an older family, but a very good-looking horse. Also, it's a colt, May 20th. Got a lot of growing to do for a big enough colt, too. This is a May 20th colt. Motherhead Lauderdale, Dominus Hanover. Both those horses made $450 and $240, respectively. And then a world champion in the second dam, Me Maggie. Now, for those of you who have been racing a long time, Me Maggie is old as hell. But she was a world champion. You can't take that away from her. So a very, very good family. Oddly old. Moves slick as a button. Looks nice. Does everything good. And has a world champion in the second dam. And a top filly, Dornello was old too. A top filly in the first dam in Dornello. So this is an older family, but it's a good family. And number 816, Dilly Hanover's got some pop in her step. It's a good-looking filly. But if I sound a little skeptical, it's only because when I look ahead to day 2, I think we're going to get everything done we needed done in day 2. But we'll never know. We never know. We'll see. We'll see what happens for the rest of day 2. But in day 3, if we're looking for horses, Dilly Hanover would definitely fit in easily. This is number 847. We're looking at some day 3 horses now for Folly Hanover. Now, this is a very, very interesting horse. The mother was a world champion, made $1 million, and she has thrown nothing for the most part. And you may say to yourself, well, I'm not interested in that. But for me, you look at Moneymaker, and she threw a whole pile of them before she got the international money. You never know who the next one will be, what it'll be like, and how it will race. I'm just looking quick here. This is an international money. There is a full sister or full brother, took a mark of 55, trotted 53, and made $88,000. So some talent. I don't know much about Frenchie Hanover, but for Folly Hanover is a pretty good looking horse. She is towed out. She is towed out a little bit, but a lot of the bar hops and international monies are. I think, truthfully, we always wonder why they don't bring what you want, but it might be easier to answer than you think. They're just not perfectly correct up front. Now this horse does, as I said, stand out a little bit, but video looks fine. Trot's nice in the video, and I certainly have no problem with that. You're going to give us a late day 3 international money out of a world champion mare with $1 million made. I'm more apt to just thank you and take the horse home. Number 847 for Folly Hanover, selling on day 3 here in Harrisburg. Well, he's pretty. This is Steel Gray, a tactical landing. That's right. He's a gray tactical landing. You do not see this very often. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. The pedigree, not super great on Steel Gray, but there is some power in there. A little bit of money, a little bit of speed. But overall, the biggest drawing point for Steel Gray is his rare color. His video looks nice. Everything looks nice about this horse, but the deepest portion of this pedigree is a $220,000 earner in Global Ice. 2-year-olds, a lot of 2-year-old speed in here. Global Magic, 144. Now I'm talking third dam. Second dam, Fog Watch and RC Royalty. I'm not familiar with Fog Watch. Grayscale, the mother, made $72,000. 5 wins by credit winner. So I would say an overly ordinary pedigree page. An extraordinary good-looking horse. This is 859, Steel Gray. Obviously selling here on the last day of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in the Harrisburg sale. Numbers 859, this is the April 13th, Roan Colt. His name is Steel Gray. Hold My Money Hanover, 868. This is a above average international money. I shouldn't say that. They don't come super small, but the ones we've looked at, especially on day 3, tend to lean that way, or they're towed out. This one is not. This is a, let me see, international money out of a Cantab Hall mare. That mother is 0 for 2, 1 raced, but neither of them were very good. Second dam's a little light. Third dam is personal style, and of course we've had at least 1 or 2 horses out of that family, and it's very, very, very deep. This is a day 3 pedigree. This might be a day 1 or 2 body, but a day 3 pedigree, and she is a good-looking filly. I like 868. And to be honest, if she was a little deeper on the front end, we probably wouldn't be able to get her. So, honestly, I believe that we're going to be all full up by the time this filly comes through the ring. But if we aren't, if we have a spot, I wouldn't hesitate to buy her. I like 868, Hold My Money Hanover. She'd do just fine if we need her. Day 3, she is selling here in Harrisburg. What are we doing? Number 892, Larita Hanover. Geez, we've seen a couple of horses that I wouldn't mind getting, but as I told everybody, the over-under is 7 for us leaving Harrisburg this year. And by the way day 2 is going, I think we're going to be all done by day 2. Larita Hanover, this is a bar hopping filly, and this is a very, very good family. How many foals is this though? This is the 13th foal. This is a Big Fred special. 13th foal, Lucky Charm Hanover, Lulu Hanover. This is a very good family, actually. And then the second dam, you have another very good horse, $1.1 million Beat Goes On Hanover. Wow, that's a really nice filly. I like her a lot. This is one of these things. If we can find a spot for her on the bus, then I would love to take her. She would fill up any one of our buckets and make anybody happy, I would think, to bring this filly home. Very strong pedigree for day 3. She's not a big filly, but that's fine. She's not a big filly, but she is a good-looking filly. A June 4th, now that may have a lot to do with it too. A June 4th bar-hopping filly selling late in the sale, $892. $892 late in the Harrisburg sale on day number 3. She doing a heartbeat.
We are quickly approaching day 1 of, or day 3, I should say, of Harrisburg, but we do have one more special guest to catch up with today, Jacob Schaefer from the Schaefer Standardbreds. Jacob, nice to meet you. I'll get to know you a little bit here on set today.
Nice to meet you.
So, first question, Anthony kind of caught me up a little bit, or I guess I could say you do basically everything.
Jack of all trades,
Yeah.
master of none.
Yeah.
We do a little bit of everything. We mainly focus in brood mares now, but we do a lot of turnouts now, so a lot of the stables horses at our farm. So it keeps us busy. Keeps us busy.
He said shipping a little bit?
Yeah, we do some shipping too. So this week we're busy with shipping, and then we own some race horses a little bit here and there, and then I also work for the USTA actually as the ID tech, so freeze brand and microchipping horses.
Make me feel like I need to find some more jobs.
Yeah, so it keeps us busy.
What's your favorite part of it? What do you look forward to doing every day, or what?
I think you got to love it to do it. Like, you have so many horses, you deal with there's problems. It's just numbers, and so you just got to deal with it. You grow up around it, and just if there's a problem, fix it. It comes as part of the business. So, but you got to want to get out of bed when your feet hit the floor in the morning and want to go to work. And even when there's something that is wrong during the day, I'm still happy to be what I'm doing. So
Exactly.
There's a lot of young people in my position that'd love to have it. So I'm grateful in that aspect of it.
Your dad, I believe, Anthony said,
Yes.
started the farm and everything?
Yeah, so my dad and grandfather started it. So actually this year's 30 years. So they started it, they used to work for Yankee Land Farm years ago. And then they went out on their own, and then they started our farm. Now it's been 30 years. Yep.
So you do a lot of turnouts for the stable, I'm guessing?
Yes. So we stay very busy with the stables turnouts, and we also take other ones. So at this time of the year when the yearlings are leaving, all the racehorses are coming. So it's a steady flow all the time.
And where is the Schaefer Standardbreds located?
So McClellantown, Pennsylvania. So we're about 40 minutes from the Meadows, south of the Meadows, which is kind of a nice location because we're kind of in between all the major sales. So we're kind of centrally located. We're 3.5 hours to here, 6 hours to Lexington, 3 hours to Ohio.
Yeah,
so
it's not really
it's kind of perfect.
That bad at all. And how many acres do we?
So we have 120 there at our farm, at the main farm, and then we have another 40-acre farm, and then we're renting another small farm. So
lots to keep up with.
Yeah.
When people do want their horses turned out, do you guys have to go get them? Do they drop them off? A little bit of both?
Just kind of how it plays out, really. We're shipping a lot, so a lot of the times we have room to pick up horses as we go. But it's just kind of however, whatever needs done, as long as the job gets done.
So for Schaefer Standardbreds, what did the Harrisburg week, or I guess we're only on day 3, what did the first 2 days of Harrisburg look like, and what can we expect from Schaefer Standardbreds for the next part of the week?
So actually, we haven't sold nothing. We're selling 8 first thing this morning, so fingers crossed. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We sold a couple in Ohio already, so the broodmare ban has definitely increased the last 2 years. So we got a bunch of weanlings and even more mares in foal.
So maybe a little bit busier next year.
Yes, yeah. So we're going to be busy in Harrisburg, and then even busier. It's a slow process.
Right. It takes a lot to grow.
Yeah.
But were you guys? You said you're staying for the broodmares. Is that to sell or mainly to purchase?
It depends on the prices.
Yeah, very
but no,
true.
I mean, no, we'll definitely have our eye out. We have some on a list, and we'll go from there and see how that works out. But it's kind of Harrisburg gets you. They set you up to sell yearlings, then spend all your money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, here, we'll make you spend it. I guess a lot of people spend it on day 1 through 3, and then hopefully the buyers or the sellers are going to then replenish with the brood mares. And he did say, again, you own some horses. And
Yeah.
Is that exciting for you?
It is. It's a different, we don't normally own too many horses, but like there's always a couple, normally there's one a year or something, 1 or 2 a year we'll keep, or that maybe not got hurt. So honestly, we keep normally the oddballs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the ones that we think might not sell as great, but we personally like. So those are the ones we kind of keep. And so then we just, because we don't really buy too many back or nothing like that, and very rarely. So we try to just stay to a select few or one that's a little bit behind. So we kind of keep the lower stuff that we try to,
And,
but that we personally like. So we kind of go from there, and then, but there's some we end up keeping that we want to make, like the mare or something like that. There's different cases.
Do you like that excitement of owning a horse when they go behind the gate?
It's a different feeling. It kind of keeps it exciting. Like it breaks up the monotony of what you're doing a little bit. So it gives you something to look forward to, especially with the babies.
And the standardbreds obviously race so much more frequently. It's something to almost look forward to every week.
Yeah. So I mean, especially with the babies, it's that anticipation all winter, and then when they finally do go behind the gate, it's an experience. I see why people get hooked on it.
So with the turnouts in the winter being based on in PA, you got to get some snow, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's not near as bad as when I was a kid. Surprisingly, it's not. But we get some snow, but it's nothing crazy. It's not like Canada.
And it's funny. I was talking a little bit a couple weeks ago with some people. A lot of horses will just stand out in the snow. It doesn't even bother them.
They love it.
You'll look out and they'll have if it's a snowstorm, a huge snowstorm, they'll have 3, 4, 5 inches of snow in them, and they might be standing next to a run-in shed, and they have no interest in going into it.
That's how it happens all the time. People always ask about like horses in the winter. I said they do better in the winter than they do in the heat with the flies.
Yeah.
Because they can't stand the flies or the heat. So honestly, they'd rather prefer the winter. I feel like
it's just funny but obviously run-in sheds a big deal. Maybe in the rain.
Yeah.
I don't think they like standing in the rain.
Yeah, they're inside.
But the snow is always funny.
For sure, they'll take the snow or the rain for sure.
Well, it's 5:53 or 9:53. You said a busy first part of the
first
sale.
Part of the morning.
14 selling today.
8. We got 8 selling.
8 selling today.
Yep.
So it's going to be a long day, just like yesterday. I expect.
Yep.
I've never been to Harrisburg. Yesterday was a very long day.
Yeah, that's the middle day feels like a marathon.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't normally really wake up this early either. So it was about 1 o'clock, and it felt like 6 p.m. at least.
Yeah. No, what time did the sale even end? I didn't even stay the whole time yesterday.
It was at least 7, I believe.
Yeah. Wow.
I lost track of time. I was here for a very long time yesterday. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else, so there's plenty of stuff to do in Harrisburg.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the last little bit of like fall you feel until the anticipation of the babies start training down.
Right.
So it's the exciting time. It's the last little bit of the big feel of the horses. You know what I mean? So it's exciting.
Announcement going over now, just 5 minutes until sale time. So Jacob, thank you for stopping by.
Thank
Whether
you.
Anthony
Appreciate
pushed
you
you
having me
over
on.
or not, we appreciate you stopping by and talking to us, getting to know Schaefer Standardbreds a little bit more, and probably where a lot of these people, the stable owners, probably you'll have a lot of their horses in the winter.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the cool part. I have a lot of people message me and stuff because it's been like a long time. It's been like 4 or 5 years now. So honestly, maybe even longer. It's been a long time now since we've been working together. So it's a great experience and great to get everybody involved. And anybody ever has a question, feel free to reach out.
Perfect. Well, Jacob, thank you. We'll let you get back to work at these yearlings in the ring, and good luck today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, Visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi. World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit TaraHills.com.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Ready to wrap up day 3 here of Harrisburg. Anthony can run, but he cannot hide. Finally joined back by him as we are just 3 minutes away from the first tip, and I'm sure a very long day ahead of us. We'll touch on a little comments. We told people to comment, and then you ran away.
I'm happy to answer them all.
Somebody commented. Jake said the Bold Eagle colt is nice. I think we did a package.
We did.
On
I was actually just looking at him again. Although, truthfully speaking, we don't have room on the bus for him. We'll see what we can do.
And somebody said, great deal getting 537. So,
yeah,
great.
I can't say enough. And again, it's nice to come on and talk about the horses you bought, right? Nobody knows till June. And, you know, some of the nicest you look at a filly like Gorgeous Package, you might not know the story behind her, but we had bought her for nothing off of something like that, off of On Gate last year, just because at the time we had a lather up that we liked, who actually didn't pan out towards the end of the year, but for that point in time, she was very good. And Gorgeous Package just turned out to be such a nice horse for us. Arrowhead Hanover, again, just a throw in last year from Hanover Shoe Farms. And you never, ever know. And I'm sure every trainer out there has that story of the horse that wasn't meant to be but did, or vice versa. And it's nice to come on and tote the horses you bought, but nobody knows till next June or July. You know, we had a meeting with all our clients that were in Kentucky. We went out to dinner and talked. And I said, guys, it's nice to do deep dives and break everything down, but the horses have to break in good. They have to stay healthy. They have to stay sound. They have to train down well. They have to get to the races. Then they have to qualify well, stay healthy and sound still. They have to draw well, in the field the horses they can do good in, and then get a good drive. You can do all that.
That last part's stressful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. And it doesn't always work out. And if any of those things falter, what you have is a horse that's at 85 to 95%, which just can't compete at the top level. And so many variables have to be moving in your direction for you to do well in horse racing. And that's what we all love about this game, is just trying that endless endeavor to try and find that horse that has everything moving in the right direction at the right time. And if you're lucky, you get your picture taken. And it's extremely difficult to do. But to get a good start with good pedigrees and good looking horses, that's all we can do. And I believe we've done that this year in every sale we've been to.
I know they're in the ring, but a question somebody actually, what's your opinion on June Foals Quick?
You know, that's a great question. And I'll tell everybody the same thing. June Foals, I don't care. Show me the horse. You can look at a horse on a page and say, oh, it's a June foal. It's a May 28th foal. If you do the breakdown, you'll find that there's plenty of very, very good horses born in May and in June. Look at the horse, because we've had lots of individuals that were born in April that just were very immature horses, whether it be mentally and physically, and both. You have to be mature in both regards. So the idea that somehow you're going to turn the page on a June foal, because go look at the horse. Then if you decide it's a little small, or it's got a lot of growing to do, or maybe it's just immature mentally, it seems that way, well, then you can turn the page. But don't turn the page on any horse just because you read something on a piece of paper.
I feel like in today's racing world, you're expected to be ready the first week of June to qualify, or even July, and now there's so much money throughout the whole season. It's not as hurtful to maybe turn them off for an extra month, let them grow up, and maybe don't bring them until August.
100%. You hit it right on the head. Everybody always said, all the big money's at the end of the year. No, it's not. There's big money throughout the year. If you have a good horse that can do well, and as I said, stays healthy, sound, draws in with horses that can do well and gets a good drive, you can make money all year. Now, to have a horse that's good in June, that's also good in November, well, that's a special horse.
Yeah.
That doesn't come around very often.
Yeah.
So as you said, it really doesn't matter. You can give them that extra bit of time. And you look at a horse like that we had this year, Time Is On My Side. He didn't make $1 million, but he made $250,000. And he was very ordinary at 2.
Yeah.
I mean, raced him 4 or 5 times, shut him down, castrated him, turned him out, brought him back, and then he was Time Is On My Side. So there are so many ways that you can do well in this industry. Pushing, you can't push it though. You have to let it come to you. Much, I think, the same in any athletic sport. You can't chase and chase and chase. You have to let the horse or let the industry or let the racing come to you. And you can buy a horse that you have to wait on sometimes.
And it's not always a bad thing, especially in today's day and age. But it sounds like they're going to try to move through these quickly. Any first few on your list to look at the prices?
As I said, Amy and I, we did this mirror. We were back looking at a number of fillies. There was a filly, a Father Patrick filly selling today that's a sister to a filly that we did rather well with in Blue Bayou Dio. Is a little small. We're not going to just buy a horse to buy a horse today. If there's a horse that comes through the ring that we really like, it is a filly, it is a Pennsylvania bred trotting filly, then I might put my hand up. But I would say there's every bit as good a chance that we're going to head home with the horses we've already purchased.
Do you need me to stand by you and keep your hands in your pocket?
I told everybody, for all of you out there saying, you all lost your bets. I won, you lost. I was under 7. No, I'm going to stay under it, I think. And it's been a great sale. We did exactly the blueprint we drew up before we came to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is the exact blueprint we stuck to. I got the horse I wanted on day 1. I got the pacer I wanted. Now, I was about to say premium pacer, but we only paid $35,000 for him. So we got what we wanted at this sale, and that is the biggest takeaway. No complaints. There were a lot of horses we missed on or maybe didn't keep going on, then those are the things that bug you, later on. But the reality of the situation is I think we've done a pretty good job across the board at all the sales. And anytime you can turn the calendar, kind of look on the next page and see 2025 and be happy with what you've done throughout the sale season, that's a big deal. You're right there, moving them quick. I think they've sold 6 horses since we've stopped talking.
Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. Jessica will yell at me if I don't shout her out because she commented, "Go Jenna." I'll just tell Anthony got me the coffee that you got me addicted to. This is your fault. I don't even like coffee, and you got me addicted.
Well,
to
they're
it.
good. They're very, very good.
So
Starbucks owes me some royalties, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And
listen, your sister does a great job. I wish both of you guys could have been here. Maybe next year, you and Jess and Mark can run the whole show in Lexington
we'll just
and
fill each
Harrisburg.
other.
Absolutely. But I really appreciate you coming.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking me. It was fun. Glad I got to see what Harrisburg's all about.
It's a different sale. One of the consigners had said, Lexington's a trip, Harrisburg is work. And it does feel like we're back to work, and this is all business. But Amy and I are here probably through the mixed portion of the sale, so we might just take tomorrow and do something we've never did, which is actually look around Harrisburg. I've never actually. Harrisburg is.
It's such a long day. You don't have
this
time.
complex?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Harrisburg? Yeah, I've been there. No, you've been here. I've never actually been to Harrisburg.
We don't have time to go before.
No,
we're here at 8 a.m. We don't have time to go after. We're here until 8 p.m. So maybe tomorrow go explore. I got a 6-hour drive back to Columbus. I will.
It's not a bad drive though.
No.
It's not a bad drive.
No.
So for those of you that were here and came out with us, thank you for joining in. For our clients following along at home, thank you for tuning in. I'll be reaching out to everybody today about the shares. I truly believe if I have a free hour or two to sit down, get on the phone, talk to people, these shares will sell out very, very quickly, which leaves us with a bit of a pickle. But at the same time, as I told everybody, we had a plan, we stuck to it. I think we executed it very well, and we'll be heading home with the horses we wanted from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So that's a wrap.
Yeah.
On 2024, the standardbred sale from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It has been a wonderful 3 days. I hope you guys had a lot of fun following along.